Made in Abyss fans have been eating pretty good this month, with the new trailer for another canon movie, as well as Volume 15 releasing in Japan to give us Chapter 74. Awakening Mystery is the first of a multi-part movie series, which does raise some red flags to the casual audience because, you know, anyone who has read ahead since Season 2 ended with Chapter 64 years ago, at a quick glance, it doesn't really seem like there's that many chapters. Comparing to Dawn of the Deep, which is movie 3, adapted about 12 chapters, and the current batch has 14, which is already more, so we're pretty set. On top of that, Dawn of the Deep only covered 2 volumes worth of material, whereas we have 4 total volumes available to be adapted within this new movie. Double the amount as the material lengths for the chapters themselves are longer, and we have key information in the side stories that they kind of put on center stage when the movie was announced earlier this year. The trailer really covers material from volume 11 mainly, as well as side story 5. I honestly think that's really all we might get in this movie, with the other side stories getting properly adapted into the anime. Side story 3's, bottom portion got adapted in season 2 episode 4 because it flowed chronologically with when Reg experiences this moment within the Ill Blue arc itself, while the volume extras for 8 and 9, which aren't really considered side stories, but they are important and vital information, got adapted in the final double feature episode of season 2 as a capstone to show Faputa's POV and her past cutting to Gabaroon's demise. This is what I think will be adapted, but not entirely sure in what order. And this is also where anyone that wants to stay spoiler-free post-Ill Blue or post-Season 2 should stop watching, by the way. We have the aftermath of Season 2 until we get Shureijo's proper introduction at Camp Number 5. We have side stories 1 to 3, which kind of flow chronologically with Mio, the nurse, as like the main staple. Then we get the Chapter 66, which is the detour mentioned in side story 3, cut to Riko's, back when we first started our story with a compass, which leads directly into Tumble Tavern with side story 4. Unless Akihito provided like storyboards or something, I don't really expect side story 6 or chapter 72 to be in this movie, even if they kind of fill in gaps for our story, since the reveal in 72 is intrinsically tied to Hail Hex as a squad that the viewer kind of needs to be, grown accustomed to them. And maybe side story 6, which is Tepeste's, origin, will be used as the avant for the second movie installment. This is the problem with the way that the trailer kind of showed off Kurvalgi, because it follows the same line of logic when Season 2's trailer came out, and I definitely criticized introducing the Genja Squad characters differently from the manga by showing their flashback forms first instead of their current. The old-timer is found dead by Riko Squad in the manga, and then we get into Tumble Tavern, whereas the trailer shows the old-timer doing his thing alive and well. Kurvalgi as a narrative device is to show that someone even in death can exude the essence of what drives these dwellers to seek curiosity. And the way that information is disseminated is emphasized heavily more than ever in this current arc by the culmination of story beats taking place and the Hariyamori collection. I really do believe that the volume deadlines that Akihito faced shapes the way that the story is told since season 2, because he did not put out a single chapter during the broadcast phase. With all the volumes that have come out since then, the final chapter at the very least of volumes 12 through 14 have debuted with the volume release itself instead of on webcomic Gamma. And all of his tweets when it comes to the chapters are always bookended by how behind schedule he is. It also shows since his July deadline for a volume release has been pushed to an August deadline, when volume 13 itself dropped 3/4 of its material with the volume release. Sadly, this is just how it goes. Akihito and his health are a separate matter. Who knows what really goes behind the scenes, as this is just speculation from my end, and I don't really care how long he takes. Like whenever he puts out stuff, I'm there. Now, that's probably different for the production companies that have invested money into his IP, right? Anyways, I myself am pretty behind my own deadline of talking about Made in Abyss every 2 years, as this time I've taken 3 years. Maybe you'll get something about the time dilation from this as a reward. Until then, Daihode.